Our next segment is one that it has been highly requested. Today, we do not have a Smart Chiropractor member that we're going to interview. We're going to talk about marketing strategy. And specifically, we're going to talk about the strategy of teach and invite consistently. If you have been following what Jason and I have been up to with the Smart Chiropractor, you probably heard these words before, but we want to talk about it in a very practical way, in a very meaningful way, because this it really is the foundational core of what we do with the Smart Chiropractor. Each and every day, week, month, and year, we help docs get more new patients in their front door. We help docs improve their retention during active care. We help docs improve their reactivation so they have that consistent flow of reactivations. We do that through social and email, but it's all built on this core marketing philosophy of teach and invite consistently. So we're going to spend some time talking about what that means, talking about how you can apply it in practice, and also perhaps give some examples of how we apply it with the Smart Chiropractor through 500,000 plus emails that we send on behalf of our docs each and every month, 20,000 plus qualified leads that come into their front doors, and also those 4 million individuals, consumers, people in your community right now that we reach through our Smart Chiropractors through social. So teach and invite, the first time I heard this, Jason, was when you brought it up. So I'm going to kick it over to you to talk down and talk up exactly what teach and invite consistently means and how docs can think about applying it in their practice, maybe even today.
All right. This is an awesome segment, one of my favorites. The spirit of what we want to accomplish here in this marketing segment is to really help chiropractors understand how you can be marketing now and in the future. And we're going to set this up very similar to hopefully the way you set up communications in your practice, which is that when people come into your practice, they most likely have a very predefined, prejudged understanding of what health or pain relief looks like and should be when they come to your practice. Just like many of you have a preconceived notion, a prejudgment on what you think marketing is supposed to be when you come to, let's just call it our practice, our conversation. And so the first place for us to start is to really clarify the differences, like you would. There's temporary pain relief with drugs, or there's healing the process naturally from within, and the long-term consequences or benefits of those decisions. The exact same metaphor holds true here when it comes to you and your practice's marketing. Yes, you can do certain things to get immediate gratification, or you can do other things that are going to get you long-term sustainable benefit. And usually those are not the same things. Maybe you want to be doing a little of both. But let's start today with understanding what we think of as content marketing, or building a health tribe, or teaching and inviting consistently. What does that look like? What does that sound like? We're big fans of reverse engineering your goal. We're going to talk a lot about that in this segment and our next segment, which is going to be about reducing your financial stress. So I'm going to start with the end in mind. I'm going to start by working backwards. Let's go to what it should look like. And my belief is, what it should look like is some version of a video I'm about to show you. I'm going to show you a video that I was invited to because of different groups I work with. If you're interested, we'll talk about it. You can ask me down below or private message me. But I was able to get on a news station asking me questions about social media. And one of the sayings that I have been putting out there, I say I, me, Jeff, the Smart Chiropractor team, what we've been focused on is helping you learn how to make Facebook, Instagram, and email healthy for people. There's this whole conversation out there about how bad Facebook is. Some of you may even believe it yourself, in spite of the fact that you're watching this on Facebook. You may get into this belief that it is bad and it does cause problems and it is a menace to society. And how dare one person, have so much power, and all the negative media hype about this thing that, in my opinion, although is not perfect, I'll cede that point, I will say is probably the most valuable, most powerful, greatest tool that our profession could have ever asked for in the history of communications. Imagine if, remember back in years back, decades back, BJ Palmer literally started and bought radio stations and TV stations. Why? Because he knew that the growth of the profession had everything to do with his ability to communicate the chiropractic story with as many people as possible. That's just simple principle, simple formula. And that formula holds true today. But the difference between now and before is that you don't have to buy or own or run and operate a television station, a radio station, a printing press, a local newspaper, a magazine. You don't have to be in the business to have access to the tools that can help you achieve and accomplish those kinds of outcomes and goals and results. So I'm going to try to use technology to show you something. Let's see if this works here. Today we're talking about freedom, your freedom. And freedom means having the ability, the power or right to act, speak, or think as you want to without hindrance or restraint. Now, some of you are going to go, yeah, but that's the whole point of not liking social media. I can't say what I want, think what I want, and do what I want. We're going to teach you how to use the tools to the maximum benefit of what you're allowed to do. And I'm going to make a metaphor here with this. It may be, let's see if we get out of presenter mode, if that makes it any better or different. How's that look?
Looks good.
Great. So we'll stick with this for now. It may be, the metaphor is that to me, social media is equivalent to having a car. And it was recently I saw a long format podcast, and one of the comments that the presenter was making was, I believe that if cars were introduced today, we'd make them illegal. Okay, think about that for a moment. If cars were introduced today, if people didn't know how to drive cars, what would happen is people would be getting killed on a regular basis. They'd be dangerous. They'd be hurting other people. They'd be causing more damage than benefit because people they have a car, but they don't yet know how to drive them. And that's really where we are in this phase of social media from our perspective, is that it's a very good thing if you know how to use it right, how to steer it, how to drive it, how to control it. And we live in a world right now where you do have the ability to have a car, buy a car, rent a car, use a car. You need to get a license. You need to be trained. And there are rules. There are laws. You can't do whatever you want with your car as much as you'd like to. And yet there are common, understandable laws, rules, regulations, so that these things are used in a safe way. And we're still early in the social media conversation, but that's where we are right now, is if more people would learn how to steer, how to drive, how to control their communication, their phones, their social, their email, if we did a better job curating, steering towards the things that are good for us and steering away from and avoiding those things that are dangerous, unhealthy, or damaging to us, then these tools today could be much more advantageous to our freedom, to our ability to connect, to our ability to see family members, to do all the things that cars give us the ability to do. Social media has that same type of benefit. Think about it. If you're old enough like I am, if you weren't born with the internet, ask yourself, when's the last time you paid for a long distance phone bill that I used to pay hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars a month to be able to make phone calls long distance, especially international? When's the last time you paid to have film developed or videos developed and edited professionally or shipped to somebody? There were so many different things that we used to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars and couldn't even do. None of us were video editors, photographers, writers, journalists, content creators, as they say. We couldn't afford to do that. That was a special expertise and a profession that most of us didn't have access to those tools because of cost and understanding. That is all different and changed. And that's the paradigm shift we're hoping to bring to our profession. What can you do with these tools? What benefit can you be to your community? And I'm going to show you a brief little video that I was fortunate enough to be able to do as an example of what I hope you start doing locally in your community. Whether you start getting on local radio stations, local podcasts, local videos, whether they're local media or other people that have video followings. There's so many different ways to do what we're talking about when you got the right mindset. So I believe that you want to think about your email list and your social channels as your audience. And your goal is to create as large of an audience of people that want to be there. Not just as large of an audience as you can, but as large of an audience of people that willingly want to be there. Meaning, no, I don't think if you had the opportunity to buy an email list of 1 million strangers who have no idea who you are, no interest in what you're selling, that is not more valuable than having 100 people on your email list that actually want to be there because they said, yes, I'm curious about who you are. I'm interested in how you can help me, and I want to learn more with you about the things you can help me do for myself. That's what freedom's all about. Let me show you this video. Hopefully it'll come through audio, and here we go. This is my hope for you. And as you mentioned, there's a lot of media, a lot of press about how bad these tools are. And my question is, if they have the potential and power to be so bad, don't they also have the same potential and power to be good?
The downsides to social media are seemingly endless, right? It can be a source of unhealthy comparison, hate speech, wasted time, and of course then guilt that comes along with all of that. But it's not all bad, according to our next guest, who says we just need to learn how to make it healthy for us. Please welcome Dr. Jason Deitch, an author and social media expert. What is the easiest way to get bogged down in the bad when it comes to social media? It's really easy to do, it seems like.
It's really easy to get bogged down to it, to the point that many are referring to it obviously as an addiction. And as you mentioned, there's a lot of media, a lot of press about how bad these tools are. And my question is, if they have the potential and power to be so bad, don't they also have the same potential and power to be good? And really, that's my message is it's up to us to learn how to take control of these tools. And like our cars, make sure we steer them towards the good things. And take control and steer them away from the things that can be dangerous, unhealthy, or bad for us.
Well, that's why we're turning to an expert like you to help us navigate that steering wheel. So let's talk about the way to make it healthier for us.
Well, we're teaching doctors around the country to teach their local communities that there are 5 steps to take control of your news feed and make technology and social media healthy for you. And they start with the first one that many people don't really recognize and know is that you can unfollow what makes you unhealthy. Facebook gives you tools, gives you controls that if there's things that appear, people that appear in your newsfeed on a regular basis that cause you stress, as you mentioned, whether it's due to comparison or other issues, then you can simply unfollow them or even snooze them and just reprieve them for a temporary time, 30 days or so. On the other side, step 2 is to follow those things that actually inspire you, that make you healthier. And there are doctors around the world, across the country, that literally are building what we call local health tribes, where they invite their local community, their patients and others to subscribe to a daily dose of positive inspiration and health reminders throughout the day. There are networks like this Smart Care network that have doctors around the country sharing these daily doses of inspiration. So we can look for those things and follow them. Step 3 in the 5 steps is to look up. And with my background as a chiropractor, that starts with look up physically, so we don't cause as much damage or nerve interference, what's known as subluxation in our spine, that's causing early degeneration in younger and younger people. You also want to look up mentally, as in it's time for us to be more optimistic and look up. Step 4 is get connected and engage with our tribes. There are millions and billions of people online on these communities, and it's up to us to look for and connect and engage with those groups that inspire us and that teach us how to even be healthier each and every day. And the last step, 5, is to be kind, be generous, and share the love. Most of us are good people with good intentions and good values, trying to do good things each and every day. So we can use these tools to find those things that inspire us, that make us healthy, and share them with other people.
Dr. Deitch, thank you. Everyone, you have homework. Let's try to do this and be healthier. Thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you so much. And so that's really the question is, why can't you do that? Are you able in your community to be able to share those kinds of messages and build your local health tribe, build your local following, go on local television, local podcasts, local radio, teach your current clients that this is your place to connect. This is your place to invite people to want to learn more about their health. And that's really how the Smart Chiropractor tools, the done for you services, help support this idea. The idea that every month there's a different campaign, every week a different topic, and every day a different some way to connect with people to inspire them to live their best life. And it looks like this. You can create, and we have some of these tools for our clients in our vault, the place where we say your money is in our vault. It's the place that you can find great tools that can be used. We teach about the 5 steps to take control of your news feed. They're all there. Use them. Use them as yours to be able to build your tribe. There's even PowerPoints if you wanted to explain and go into more detail about the research and science about how you can be using social media for your better health and how you're teaching people how to do exactly that. And a lot of our clients are doing exactly that. They've got graphics like you see right here that not only teach them something and invite them to take a next step. Your best next step is to invite them to become part of your health tribe. Teach them something and invite them to join your health tribe so they can keep learning more over time. And it looks like this. We make Facebook healthy for you. Join us and receive a daily dose of inspiration. Look up health reminders, subscribe to our tribe, and make Facebook healthy for you. Many of these are available for you in the vault if this makes sense to you. If you want to be a local leader, if you want to start being the contrarian to say, wait a minute, social media has its issues, no question about it. Nobody's saying it's perfect. But let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater. There's so many benefits to it. Let's learn how to use it in a proper and beneficial way. And you, as a local chiropractor, are doing exactly that. Building a health tribe, teaching people how to use Facebook and Instagram for their benefit. Jeff, I'll kick it back to you as I stop sharing my screen before we get to our next segment. There we go. That's really what I want to share for this segment about, understanding the concept of teaching people something, then inviting them to take a next step. Teach them whatever our monthly campaign, weekly topic is, and invite them to join your health tribe, whether that's online social, whether that's join your email list. If you followed our recommendations, many of you who use our service have a pop-up box you can be putting on your website. There's lots of roads that will get you there. Don't be paralyzed by the options. Understand what your goal is, and then let's work together to help you take the right road to get you to the right destination. But it starts with mindset, and it starts with understanding, what am I trying to achieve? And what you're trying to achieve is building as large of an audience as you possibly can that wants to be there to learn from you. And some of those people that learn from you will be interested in the invitations you invite them to take. In this case, have them join your health tribe so that they can experience a daily dose of inspiration, experience your passion and compassion for wanting to help them be healthier by being a part of your health tribe online. Jeff, your thoughts?
Thank you for sharing those real life examples of how you've taught and invited, and how docs can really take the material that we provide at the Smart Chiropractor and just accelerate their practice moving forward. I think that is exceptionally powerful, especially as we're closing out the year and you might be thinking about your plans for next year. I'll do a little teach and invite myself right now, which is we do have open enrollment with the Smart Chiropractor going on right now. It's 2021 rolling into 2022. There's no question that you need to consistently communicate with your health tribe, with the people on your email list, with those past patients, with your active patients, with the people that follow you online. They might be in your circle of practice. They might be beyond your circle of practice. But the bottom line is you have to have systems and processes to communicate across that patient journey, as we call it. You have those people out there that are future patients, haven't been patients yet. You certainly have active patients in your practice. But probably what most chiropractors are missing is that proactive retention loop. Our goal with the Smart Chiropractor is to teach and invite along that entire journey, to make it super easy for you to guide patients from your health tribe to becoming an active patient, from a potential patient to an active patient, from an active patient to a proactive patient, and then stimulate and generate that retention loop that keeps your schedule full day after day, week after week, month after month. And we talk about it. We'll dive into it, I'm sure, in the future. As far as holes in that bucket of practice, there's so much water going in, so many new patients coming in up top, but you can never seem to keep your schedule full. We call that a hole in the bucket, a roller coaster effect, a yo-yo effect, however you want to define it. It plagues way too many chiropractic practices out there, and a lot of it comes down to a lack of consistency when teaching and inviting, and a lack of systems and processes. So if you want to make 2022 your best year yet, head over to smartchiropractor.com, or you can tune in later. Jason and I will be live answering questions directly relative to the Smart Chiropractor in just a few hours. Hey, if you like that video, be sure to subscribe to the Smart Chiropractor. We are posting videos on how you can market your chiropractic practice in a way that teach and invites consistently. We have found that is the magic formula to big time growth. So if you like this video, be sure to comment down below, smash that subscribe button, or visit us at thesmartchiropractor.com.